Hi, I'm Lauren Saylor with Equipment Fenders, home of the D-Fender, fenders for skid loaders. I wanted to take this opportunity. I just got done doing an installation video. Actually, I had the tires on, but I thought, wait, let's take a moment here, pull those tires back off, and give a quick overview of the D-Fender and then also how they're mounted. Again, if you wanted to see it more extensively, there are installation videos. Haven't got them all done for every manufacturer, but as I do, I will be releasing them. You'll be able to see that. So this will be just kind of a general overview of, like I said, the D-Fender, and then also how they're installed on the machine. Number one, the fenders. The fenders are made of durable poly, belting rubber, and everything you see shiny is stainless steel. Because we're trying to battle corrosion. By and large, the vast majority of my customers are dairy farms, so the machines are constantly saturated in manure. We're battling corrosion. The other, a couple of other quick applications: snow removal, salt, corrosion. Another one would be asphalt. Actually, asphalt companies, paving contractors are growing. It's a growing segment, I should say, for me, is keeping the tank of asphalt off the machines, because that's incredibly hard to clean off the machine. So, but again, the stainless steel, as you can see, stainless steel brackets, stainless steel bed brackets. Where you can't quite probably see from your perspective is the brackets where they mount to. Those are also laser cut stainless steel brackets. The other component that I utilize in the design, and on the back side, again, visually you can't see right now, is aluminum angle iron. The aluminum angle iron is to give just an added rigidity to the backer board. I'll give you a visual for how much that adds to that rigidity. So that's how rigid that fender is mounted on that machine. So that's kind of an overview of the components: poly, belting, stainless steel hardware, stainless steel brackets, aluminum angle iron. Now some design features. One of the design features that I'll quickly hit upon is how much do the fenders come off the machine. By and large, design distance off the machine is just inside towards the machine of the sidewall of the tire. Because we know the sidewall of the tire is where the contact point, where the majority of the time the machine is going to make contact with the side. It's going to be the sidewall of the tire. So I wanted to just be in the side of that a little bit. Not that you're still going to end up making contact with the fender, but that's again why you have a rubber belting edge out here. It's the most, the most flexible portion of the fender, and then in the event that in a catastrophic moment, if something was to be damaged, it would be the belting, and which can be replaced if need be. A design feature of the radius, as you can see, the overall size of the fender is dictated by the manufacturer that it's going on. In the rear, it's usually this portion of the fender. As you wonder how wide I can go with the fender. In the front, it's usually the lift arm. Also in the front, it is cut back so that in the front of the machine you can I'm trying to think of a few quick applications. In snow removal, you're pushing into the snow pile. If you didn't cut it up, you'd be running your fender straight into the frozen snowbanks, things like that. Silage piles for a farm application, in construction application, gravel. So this way you confront the tire can actually walk up piles, or frankly push right into things without just shoving your fender into it. So that's kind of when you see the overall radius, tire clearance, I go as large as I can, dictated by the manufacturer's, physical size, hindrances like the lift arm, things like that. And I do have some models have zero issues of, you get full radius without having to do any kind of cutouts. On this one, you do see there is a cutout in the front, the strut for the lift arm there. Like I said, some have zero hindrances in that design. Some have some small cutouts and things like that. But I do try to do a very minimal tight tolerance cutout. So again, so what are we trying to do? Trying to keep debris, material, manure off the machine to keep it cleaner. And speaking of keeping it cleaner, again, I don't try to mislead anyone to believe, I don't want to have them get a set of defenders on the machine and, well, my machine was still able to get dirty. Well, Yeah. It's got fenders on it, does not mean it's gonna be immaculate, but it will be significantly cleaner. The frequency by which you have to power wash and clean will be a lot less. Your machine will be able to navigate tight quarters in a much safer manner. And why that is because your side windows. Without fenders, where does the material end up? In fact, on this model, for example, the glass is on the outside of the expanded metal. There are machines out there that have the expanded metal on the outside of the glass. And what does that become? It becomes a spot that all material can collect and get jammed in there. And again, then it becomes a hindrance for your operator's vision. So when they have vision limitations to the side, you get tunnel vision, you turn into things that you were hoping you got clear of that. So again, there's the multitude of benefits. One of the things that we should all do better is tip up our cab, power wash the belly pan of the machine. How often does that happen? How often can we find time to do things like that? Pockets back in things like this. Where does the rotation of the tire? Where would this material end up? Down in here. And I'll tell you, this machine, the Kioti, is actually a tight, there's not a lot of gaps and spaces in the machine. It's good to see. There are some other manufacturers that have very large gaps, whether it's, for whatever application, there's just really large gaps. I don't want to say the manufacturer offhand that has a huge gap, probably an 1.25 inch gap between the lower frame and the cab. If you don't have fenders on the machine, where's all that material ending up? It's going down to that belly pan as I formatted. And I make this point all the time. End up with a hydraulic leak that's underneath the cab, the hydraulic pump's down there, something's been leaking. You may not know about it for weeks, a month if it's a slow leak, because it's absorbing in all that manure and straw or what have you, whatever, gravel, anything that build up underneath there. Two things, you didn't realize that it had a leak until it started to drip off, and you were like, oh boy. Got to power wash all that extra material out of there to get to it. Now, because of that, again, because of, depending on the application, the corrosion of that being saturated in that, example, manure or what have you, that project that could have been a 20-minute job turns into a 2-hour. You broke that off because it didn't want, heating it, what have you. So, again, those are just some maybe obvious things that can be benefited with a set of fenders. But yeah, so that's kind of the overview of the components: poly, belting, stainless steel hardware, stainless steel brackets, aluminum angle, and I try to give a full radius to benefit it as much as possible to encapsulate that tire as best I can with that design. So again, if you see an application for this, it could benefit you. You can reach out to me directly, my cell phone, 608-505-1133. You can contact me via email, which is sales@equipmentfenders.com. You can also go to Facebook, which is also Equipment Fenders LLC, and then also all the dealers that are out there that are also selling D-Fenders. If you don't see that listed on your website, and if you're wondering if locally your dealership, just ask about them. Many times, that's how I've grown the business, is that you, the customers, have asked your local dealership, hey, I've seen these D-Fenders, I really want them, do you guys carry them? They'll call me, and hopefully and potentially they become a dealer. So I look forward to hearing from you. I hope that you see the value in the D-Fenders, and I hope you become a customer. Thank you.